Now we come to the third concept, which is very important, that is preservation of food, which is very important. Preservation of food. What is the meaning of preservation?
Ma'am, preservation of food means if a food item like milk, if we keep it in the temperature that is room temperature, it might like become bad so fast. Instead, if we keep it for cold storage, it may stay for more than the time that it could stay in the normal room condition.
Correct.
Ma'am, can I also tell?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, like preservation is like when we extend something from its actual lifespan, like sugar and salt or a cold temperature are the best preservatives that are natural also, and they're not harmful for us also.
Correct.
Like the achars that we have or the pickle, those are just preservatives.
Correct. Good.
And also the jams that we have, that's just like fruits with sugar. And that's how like we increase the lifespan of that object so that it's edible and we can store it for a long time.
Okay.
Ma'am, also like canned food. You can see nowadays we are getting a lot of canned food. That can also extend the kind like it could be airtight so that food item can stay for a long period of time.
Ma'am,
Yes, Yashika.
so preservation of food is just storing food so that we can use it later. Storing,
very good.
So that, which means keeping for later, leaving it for later.
Later use. Very good. So all of you have actually said it very rightly, very correctly. So basically, one thing, Pragya, that is, we cannot say lifespan anymore, because the tomato that we have picked up, it doesn't have any life anymore. So how do we extend its lifespan? So what we call is that shelf life.
Shelf life.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will not call a lifespan. Lifespan means a living organism and you want to extend its lifespan. That's not the thing. We'll use shelf life. So what is the meaning of shelf life? Shelf life means, for example, you've taken a tomato, right? And you've kept it on the shelf. How many days would this tomato will be fine if you keep it on the
Maybe
shelf?
for 1 week or 2 weeks.
3 to 7 days, depending on the temperature. So we can easily say
Colder means it may take more than that.
So we can easily say that the shelf life of tomato is 3 to 7 days, easily. Correct? Now we take some potatoes, right? We take some potatoes and we keep it in the shelf. What is the shelf life? 15 days to 30 days. Potatoes have a longer shelf life, right? Now take a glass of milk. Take a glass of milk and keep it in room temperature on the shelf. How many days will it last?
1 day.
1 day, exactly. Not even one full day if it is summers.
I have seen it actually.
So it could be 6 hours to 1 day, depending on the temperature. Now, the thing is that we really can't afford, going to the market every day for every meal. We have to go out to the market, buy stuff, and then keep it. And then for every meal, we cannot go out. So we have devised a way to increase the shelf life of tomatoes from 3 to 7 days to 1 year. And how do we do that?
Cold storage?
No, to turn it into ketchup. To turn it into tomato ketchup.
Yes, ma'am. Tomato ketchup or like the tomato puree.
Tomato puree, exactly. Now what to do with potatoes?
Potato chips.
Potato, like we
Chips, yes.
can salt the potatoes and keep them.
Keep them where?
I keep them anywhere because salt helps like to grow the shelf life of the potato.
True. But then again, the water content in potato is very high. So you
Okay.
really have to store them well. So you convert them into French fries, freeze
But
them,
ma'am, those
and
are
then,
instant eating.
sorry?
Ma'am, like we make French fries, just
No,
well,
no,
we fry
no,
them
no.
and we just eat
I'm
them.
not, I'm not talking about those French fries. I'm talking about frozen French fries.
Ma'am, like McKean.
McCain,
Like the
yes.
ones you get at the shops.
Yes, it's like a cold storage, freezing French. What is the meaning of Frenched? Frenched means, cutting it in a certain pattern. That is known as the Frenched.
Yeah.
French is a way to cut vegetables. So Frenched fries, Frenched potato fries. So basically we'll convert it into frozen French fries or potato wedges and keep it maybe for 9 months. Here we go. We have expanded the shelf life, extended the shelf life. What to do with the milk?
Ma'am, we can turn it into butter, ghee, curd.
Yeah,
No,
ma'am,
but
we
I
can
want,
only,
but I want milk only. I don't want butter and ghee.
ma'am, we can like, sometimes we just need it for like, if we need milk, we can just like put it into ice cube molds and freeze it.
No, but I don't want ice cubes. I just need the same milk in a liquid form. I
We
Keep
just
it in
want.
the
can
fridge.
put it in
Keep it
the
in the
cold
fridge.
storage.
So there are Amul Tetra packs that you get.
Right. Yes, ma'am, I have them at home.
So Amul 1 liter Tetra
Ma'am,
pack. Yes, Yashika.
ma'am, we can
Yes,
curdle the
ma'am,
milk.
boiling them. Boiling them. Now I can think what you're saying. I
No,
think you mean boiling them.
even if you boil them, even if you boil milk, it will not last. I mean, for long.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many ever times
The
you boil
substance matters.
the good things of the milk
Ma'am,
goes away. Yes, Yashika.
we can curdle it.
But I don't want to have curd. I want to have milk. So what we do is that Amul or any other company, they would pasteurize.
Pasteurize. Ma'am, I have heard about it.
So you will, so
Pasteurize.
every
I was
every milk
forgetting the term.
every milk carton that you open, you will find the term pasteurized milk. That means they have taken out all the probable germs, microorganisms. There are certain technology. They have taken out everything. They have boiled the milk and immediately cooled it. That's the technique of pasteurization.
Yeah, ma'am.
And then
Immediately like heating it up and fastly like cooling it up.
immediately cooling it. That only happens, not at home, but in the factories. And then they put it in Tetra Pak, and that's like a 7-layer Tetra Pak, 7 layers of aluminium, depends, so that there's no contact of air. The moment little bit of air goes in, the entire milk will go bad. It will just curdle.
Yes,
So
ma'am. On the
this,
Tetra Pak, it's written that it is 90. It is like it's good 90 days if it is like packed completely.
sorry,
But you,
yeah,
when you open it, you have to consume it within 3 days.
correct. So basically, I have kind of extended the shelf life of milk from 1 day to 90 days. I don't have to go out morning, evening to the market to buy milk. I have this Tetra Pak which will go for 90 days. Right? So this is what do we mean by the word preservation. I have preserved these food. Similarly, you would also find frozen peas because peas we get only during the winter. But I want to have matar paneer in summers, so I'll buy frozen pea.
Ma'am, also have seen my mother like using paneer in or keeping paneer in the fridge itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, like corn. We store corn also.
corns also, correct. Now there is another way like mango which we get only during the summers, but I want to have mango during winters.
Pickle.
I could, if I want the mango in a salty way, then I would pickle it. But if I want it the sweet way, then
Ma'am, popsicle. We can make it a popsicle.
Ma'am, you can make
popsicle
it
won't
as
last for
jam.
long. Popsicle won't
Jam.
last for long because always remember the moment you add water, that thing will go bad.
Oh,
So you
Ma'am,
always
jam.
have to extract water. Yes, it
but
could be jam. It
yeah.
could be also diced mango which has been canned.
Ma'am, it could be also like this
Mango can be canned, ma'am.
Yes,
quartz.
mango can be canned. You cut it into small dices. You cut it into small dices, and there are these cans. They put something called a brine. Brine is basically a liquid kind of a thing on which they put pieces of fruits. Maybe pineapple, mango, cherries.
Ma'am, you can make
Does
it
the
into
taste
squash.
change?
Obviously, the taste would not be as fresh as a fresh mango, but at least you are having mango at winters.
Yeah.
It could be also squash, right?
Squashed, yes, squashed, of course, making it into mango concentrate, which we get, strawberry concentrate, mango concentrate, squashes. So it depends how you want to have it. You want it
Ma'am,
to have it salt or sweetie.
ma'am,
Sorry?
would juices also be included?
What?
Ma'am, juice.
Fresh juice, yes, of
Ma'am,
course.
but juices will not last for summer to winter, right?
No, the juices, I think so, they also last for 90 days.
90 days only. I thought like summer to winter, it will take more than a while.
No. So that's how it is. Now let's understand, what are the different ways of preservation. The first way of preservation is dehydration. What is the meaning of dehydration?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
can I
or
answer?
removing all the water
Yes.
Ma'am,
from the
what like dehydration means like extracting all of the water from that object.
Substance, object.
Yeah.
So you take out all the water.
Yeah.
Water is the problem. Water is only the main problem. The moment there is, but every living organism has water, right? For example, dehydration.
potato.
Yeah, like potato. Very good.
Yes, ma'am, like
It has
bananas
a
and
lot of
strawberries
water
and
concentration.
mangoes. Ma'am,
Sorry.
like cucumber, they're mostly water, like 70% water.
So it's very difficult to preserve cucumber. So,
Yeah.
you would be seeing sun-dried tomato. They would cut slices of tomatoes and then lay it out in the sun for it to dry. And then you store it in a
Yeah.
container for a year.
Ma'am, like I would like to tell you something like we eat something like we dry the what bitter gourd,
Yes.
cut it into pieces and we dry it,
Hmm.
and then after that, sorry, before drying itself, we apply salt in it and dry it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we sell it in packets, some of them.
Hmm.
And what we do is we buy them and we fry them. We used to eat them using our meals and all.
Correct. So that is how, through dehydration, you can preserve it for a very long time. Similarly, amla, the gooseberry, which you get only during the few months, maybe just for a month. But people have it for cough and cold, and it's because it's very good in vitamin C content. So people sun dry it and then store it in containers. So that's the first way of dehydration. Then coming to pasteurization. What is pasteurization? I just now told.
Pasteurization is a
Anjali has
method.
to tell me. Anjali has to tell me what is
Okay.
pasteurization.
Ma'am, it's like a process
Hmm.
where packaged and like not packaged foods are like heated kind of.
No, I just now discussed, what do we do with milk at the factories? What do they do with milk?
They purify them.
So how do they purify?
They heat them, ma'am.
They boil the milk at
Like we
very
do
high
at our
temperature.
houses also.
Yes, they boil it at very high temperature, and immediately after boiling, they put it into very cold temperature and they cool it. So that
Yeah,
process is
ma'am.
known as pasteurization, which is not possible to do it at home. It only happens in certain, dairy farms.
Ma'am, but don't at home like don't we heat the milk until it's
We boil it. We don't immediately cool it and put it into sub-zero temperature. Where will we get sub-zero temperature?
oh so ma'am this is only for like packaged milk, right?
This is only for packaged milk. This process itself is called pasteurization, which is not possible at home,
Oh, okay.
right? They try and kill, uh, most of the germs and make it a neutral milk, and then they immediately boil it.
Ma'am, I would like to add a point to it
Mm-hmm.
because who had founded it actually Louis Pasteur.
Correct. Yes. Louis Pasteur is the person who had invented this technology. The next one is very important. It is known as lyophilization. What is the meaning of lyophilization? Who can tell me?
I have never heard about it.
Lyophilization is a process by which, you kind of freeze things, but after taking out all the air. So basically, frozen peas, frozen corn, these are all the process of lyophilization. Here now there will be water content because you can't completely dehydrate peas or corn. They would be like, very, very, what do you say? They would just not have that taste. So you really can't dehydrate them. You just that in the packet that you freeze, that packet has to be vacuumed. They have to take out all the air because air and water does all the damage. Is it clear? Then we come to addition of sugar. So when did you add
Just
sugar?
tell like what I understood about Leo. Ma'am, can you just go back to can you just tell me that word about what you have said the method right now?
Lyophilization is whereby, you just
No,
frozen.
ma'am, I just need the name of that.
Oh, okay. Lyo.
Okay. Actually, lyophilization is a method of we froze food, but we take out all the air.
Yeah, so that's what it is, vacuum then. If you don't have any air, then it's vacuum.
Okay.
When you buy corns, you will be seeing that the packet is all clingy, and all together. That means there's no air inside the packet. All the air has been extracted out.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
What is the process of adding sugar?
Ma'am, we make jam.
Jam and jellies.
Yeah, ma'am.
So basically what we do is that, in jams and jellies, for example, there's a huge amount of strawberry lying in your house. After eating, you don't know what to do, but strawberries will not last for more than 2 days. So what you do is that you put it in the gas stove and you take out all the water. And then you add sugar. So what happens is that sugar will form a coating over the strawberries and it will preserve it for a very long time, as in jams or jellies. Correct? Or you can also make squashes. That's the fruit concentrate.
Understood, ma'am.
What is salt and edible oils? What is this way of preserving food?
Ma'am, salt we put in we make pickles.
Correct?
Then I told an example before itself about the bitter gourd.
Hmm? No, but the bitter gourd is not, it's just a salting process. Salting is a different process.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
is
Then
salting
we
and
keep we put green mango like amla and all in salt water for a while. Then it will take in the water, salt water.
correct. So if you put anything in salt water, it will just dehydrate it. It will kind of take out all the water from it. Right? Then you add some heat, as in put it on the gas stove, take out more water. And then you add oil and fry and make a pickle out of it. Now, whenever you've been to the seaside, have you seen salted fishes? Right? They would have a long rope and they will hang all the fishes here in the rope for drying and salting. Has anyone of you seen this?
No, ma'am, but I have eaten a kind of
Oh, mom, but I've seen like kebabs that are hanging like this, but not fishes.
Yeah, so these are dried fishes. These are dried and salted fishes.
Okay.
Because, the seamen cannot go to the sea for fishing every day, every month, because there would be monsoons. Those 2-3 months, like it's like a no-no. So how do they get their fish? So what they do is that the peak of summers, whatever they caught, extra fishes, they will kind of, slit the fish, put a nice amount of salt, and they will hang it out in the sunlight for it to dry. And then they will store it. And, every day they'll take 1 or 2 fishes out of it and they'll make a curry out of it. That is dried and salted fishes. That is one of the ways. Okay? Now there's one more way to preserve, which is very common abroad, which is known as smoking. How is this done?
Ma'am, does it happen by like smoking? I think it's happened by like putting or some charcoal, maybe heated charcoal.
Any fire for that matter, any fire. So normally again, meat in hilly areas, when it's very, very cold, again, they can't go out for hunting or to go to the market every day. So what they do is that, maybe they buy one huge amount of maybe 10 kgs of meat they would buy. They would cut it up into small pieces, right? And they would hang it, they would, sew it in a kind of a thread or a wire, and they would put it over fire. So what will happen is that, all the water will go away. And
Ma'am, like we do with marshmallows.
Yeah. So all the water will go away, but marshmallows we eat it then and there, right? But this is being stored, right? And then they would open it from the skewer and then they freeze it in a container for very long. Right? So these are smoked meat or smoked chicken. Huh?
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes, please do.
Ma'am, what would be the shelf life? Like, how long would it be, like, not moldy before?
More than a year. In case of smoked meat, it is more than a year. If you go to very, very cold regions, very hilly areas like, maybe even to Tibet or maybe the borders of China, and even, Kashmir, very cold areas. So you will find in their balconies, they actually do this at night or maybe during the day. They smoke their meat and they keep it. That could be yak meat or some kind of a meat. It becomes very chewy, rough and dry. And then they, use it later for their gravy. Because it's extremely, extremely cold and high up there in the mountain, they don't get much produce. Very limited resource they have.
So, ma'am, most of the northern plains.
Most of the northern plains, correct.
Yeah, but not including Delhi because it's not so cold here.
It's not that cold, yes. Refrigeration, obviously we all do refrigeration. Right, the same tomato, if I just wanted a whole tomato, I would put it in the refrigerator and the shelf life would increase from 3 days easily to 10 days by simple refrigeration, which we all do normally.
They used to do this, even our ancestors used to use this methods, but not you, but they weren't the electricity was not there at that time, so they used simple methods to do refrigerating.
No, so they could not do refrigeration. So what they did is that they did smoking, drying, salting, adding sugar.
Ma'am, they did refrigerating.